back to my channel. It's Destroyer Deception. Pastor Kelly coming to you guys with another video. This is part 5 of the Noahide movement series, calling all Noahides, all people that have joined themselves to that movement, back to the truth. In part 5, we're continuing to destroy the deception that is being taught by a small group of rabbis or Jewish people that would teach what is called the Noahide movement, the Ben Noah teachings of 7 principles and so forth. And we have discussed that in part 1 through 4. This is part 5 of that. I have one more clip to show y'all in this part 5 series to basically debunk and to destroy the deception that is being communicated. Without further ado, let's get right into it. All righty.
So at the beginning, there were some people who were kind of upset that that they wanted to be Jews, or they felt that they were Jews already. And I interviewed family by family, individual by individual, to see who was a Jew indeed and who needed conversion. And I told
them, stop right there. It amazes me, and it saddens me that this person came in and clearly you can see the division that he caused already. You can clearly see how he came into this area and destroyed everything that these people was trying to do. Discourage these people from serving the Lord our God, the Most High God, in the right way in which they should have. Now, granted, whether or not they was full-blown Judaism and they rejected Yeshua as the Lord and Savior, that's another subject and matter. But he came in and destroyed these people. Now, and I'll get to that in more in a moment as this reaction video continues. But stop right there and look what he said. He said there were some people upset. That's how he led the conversation. That there were some people upset because they felt that they were Jews. And he basically came in, as he said, he interviewed family by family and to determine whether or not who was actually Jews and who was actually not. But whose standard is he communicating this to? Whose standard is he going by to say, oh, you're a Jew because you do this, this? Whose standard is he using? Is he using man's standard, or is he using God's standard? You can argue and talk about this oral law that we have the oral law, and the oral law communicates what is actually should be done and what shouldn't be done. No, it shouldn't, because as I have told you in the previous parts, part 1, 2, 3, 4 of this, Deuteronomy chapter 12 verse 32 say, don't add or take away from what I have communicated to the prophets, to Moses. He communicated and Moses wrote down what man should do. And we cannot add or take away from it. So there's no oral law for us to keep or have to abide by and to do. Simple. Hands down. No man can deny that. Every word that comes out of the mouth of God is what we should live by and what we should do. If it's not written down in what was given to Moses to give to us, then there's no way and no need for us to continue to listen to any other thing outside of that. Let me stop beating that up and so forth. But he upset these people, and he discouraged these people because he came in and as if he was a person that could say you're a Jew and you're not. And you could begin to see the divide that was being set up because of this. And we're going to get into that a little bit more. But it's extremely saddening. And it's definitely somewhat sickening. But let's continue.
And I told them from the beginning that there was no possibility for conversions at that moment because we didn't have a bit din. So
wow. Can you imagine somebody coming in and telling you, I come in and I tell him, you ain't a Jew. You not a Jew. Believe that. I'm going to tell you to your face, bro, you not a Jew. You think you a Jew, but you ain't a Jew. You're not Jewish. What makes you a Jewish person? Because you can speak in Hebrew? Get out of here, bruh. With that. Who are you? What's your qualification? Cut your skin, you bleed out Jewish. I bleed Jewish. But you are, who are you? And he would get upset. I'm this and I'm that. This is what I do. And I'm sure he would. And rightfully so, in a sense, that he should get upset. Who are you to tell me? You can't tell me that I'm not Jewish and this and that. You're right. I can't tell you. Just like you can't tell them and should not have told them that they're not Jewish, interviewing these families and so forth to determine their practices and their ways of whether or not they're Jewish or not. What determines a person if they're Jewish or if they're a part of the Israel or not is simply by what they do in regards to keeping the commandments of God. And the commandments of God are strictly the written laws that are written in the Torah, in the Old Testament, for us to keep. It's not any oral commandments that are man-made by the tradition that are set up by rabbis to have control over the people of the land at that time, to avoid them going back into exile, or the people of Israel going back into exile, or being destroyed or punished by the Lord because they're not doing and keeping the laws and commandments of the Lord. Whole nother subject, deeper subject that'll take place in the studies as you go over to Iron Rod Ministries and you learn more and more there. Anyway, back to the subject is that we see this individual, like I say, positioning himself as if he's somebody that could justify himself as, I could tell you if you're Jewish or not. And he basically saying none of y'all are Jewish people at all, and therefore what caused the people to be upset. And as we'll continue to justify why these people are upset. And it just amazes me that he went in there and said that and told these people, you can't be converted over to Judaism because we don't have a system set up at the moment for that to take place. And it just like, wow, this is what you tell these people that want to join themselves to the Lord. This is very discouraging. In a lot of situations, which probably did happen, that is not mentioned in this interview, where you probably had some people like, well, I don't need to be a part of none of that because I see the wickedness in you. I see the lack of care in you, in the people that support this, that you really don't care about me. You don't want me there and so forth. Why would I want to be a part of something that you don't want me? You know, you don't want me around and so forth. That doesn't show the love of God, which the Lord definitely was not supporting or encouraging and so forth. He wants all people to join themselves to him, which that was the purpose of Israel being that light to the people in the first place. But anyway, let's keep going.
So I told them that they did have the option of being great human beings.
You just be a great human being. Just go be great human beings. Don't worry about coming over here because we really don't want you over here. But just go be a great human being in your country. Stay where you at. Can you imagine that? It sounds real racist. Sound like a lot of racist people that I have heard about and met and have heard with my own ears, where people will say, why you're here, why you're in our country, go back to your country where you come from. If you don't like what we do and how we say and what we say and or what we are about or present or project out into the world, then you could go back to your country where you come from or stay in your country where you're at. Don't come over here. That's exactly what it sounds like and what you're saying. Regardless of what you will come back and rebut and say, I wasn't saying that, you're taking out of context, you're blowing it all up and so forth. No, I'm not. This is how you sound. This is what you're doing. You created this movement in the 1990s to discourage Gentiles from being converted. It's evilness. It's pure evilness. Out of the heart of somebody that was wicked, that didn't want the Gentile, the nation of all other nations, to be joined themselves to the Lord, to overtake what they were supposed to do themselves, or to taint their bloodline or this and that. It's all wickedness and retardedness and so forth and misunderstanding of what the will of the Lord is. But we'll get to more and more of that soon. Let's continue.
And in serving their country. And from that group came out the Arca de Noah, the Ark of Noah group. Mm-hmm. And some other people were alienated, and they formed their own religions, so to speak.
Mm-hmm. Wow, y'all caught that last part? Did you catch the last part? This man came into the Dominican Republic and destroyed everything. He discouraged these people, tore their hearts out, where they created this Ark of, a certain group of them created this Ark of Noah, Ark of the Covenant, Noah movement that began to be a part of this Noahide movement, Ben Noah, sons of Noah. But many others were discouraged. They began to were alienated, as they said. They were cast away where we can't accept you, move, and so forth. And they created their own secular religions where I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and so forth. And can you imagine that these people were all on one accord, desiring to do the same thing, to seek after the Lord in the same path. But this individual come in to destroy and segregate these people and disbanded the whole thing. Like, wow. All because of somebody's wickedness in regards to teaching this doctrine that was never, ever in the Word of God, to discourage, like I say, to discourage these people from doing what is right, to keeping the ways of God as always commanded, that was not for only Israel, but for all people. For those that are born in the land, and as the stranger that sojourneth with you, and wherever their dwelling places are. Let's continue, man.
Yeah, what could you say to people who might feel like sort of second class?
Okay.
Because they would want to.
That's a very good question because.
And you see what he said before he answered. You see what he said. He understands the problem because you're treating everyone else as if they're second class. You're no good. You're not better than me. You ain't really of Israel. You know this bloodline. And matter of fact, we don't really want y'all over there. Stay where you at. Stay in your country. You could be a good person. You can be a good person. That's what you be. Just be a good person. Do your best. Keep the 7 laws. These only apply to you. You don't have to keep the 613. No. That's not for you. Stay over there. Don't come over here. Anyway, man, that's not of the Lord, and this is absolutely foolishness. And he sees it, knowing that the discrepancy that is being talked about here. He's about to give an answer, and let's listen.
It's a very good question.
I bet it is.
Rabbis talk about this concept that a Ben Noah or Bat Noah that keeps those universal principles and lives a pious lifestyle can reach the same level of holiness as the Kohen Hagadol of Israel.
Wow.
And can even reach Nebuah, prophecy.
Wow. Look, you can still reach it. You can still be a good person. You can still be like Noah. You could be like Abraham. You could be like Isaac and Jacob and so forth. How you gonna do that? And the people don't keep the Sabbath day. They don't understand that this is one of the main things. This is a part of the Noahide movement. They teach you only have 7 principles. You don't have to keep the Sabbath day or keep certain laws. It's not for you to keep or for you to do. Or if there was a temple, you don't have to give certain sacrifices and so forth, or be a part of certain commandments. But you can reach the level of Noah and Abraham and Isaac and Jacob by not understanding the ways of the Lord, because these are the ways of God. How is it not the ways of God to understand that thou shalt not lie, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, you should not lust after covet another man's items or things or so forth, or to the point where it leads to malice and envy and strife and all these different things and so forth. But this is what he said. This is what they come up with. Let's continue.
So there is no issue here of who's better or who's worse. The only difference is who has more obligations. So the Jewish people have more obligations than the Bnei Noach. But in terms of holiness and prophecy, there is no difference.
Alrighty, guys. So that's the end of that part 5 of this Noahide series and so forth. Hope you guys enjoyed it. And actually, man, I can't leave this alone. I'm actually going to do way more videos than this to debunk, to destroy the Noahide movement, to call all people that have joined themselves to the Noahide religion and so forth, call them out, call them back, leave it, change your ways, get back to serving the Lord, and let no man judge you by how you should serve the Lord in regards to keeping with the written commandments of what's being said. Now, you will be judged if you're not adhering to what is being written, as Paul and the apostles and everyone that's written in the New Testament always refer back to. It is written, it is written, it is written. So you'll be judged in that manner. So if you're trying to do something different than what is written, then yeah, you will be judged. But anything that's not written, so you can't tell me that I'm supposed to pour water on my left hand first rather than my right, or my right hand first than my left, and say you're not keeping the law. Or on the Sabbath day, you're supposed to light a candle first, and if you don't light a candle, then you're not a part of Israel. Where is that written in the word of God? Where? Show me. If it is, then I'll do it. But if it's not, leave me alone. You can continue to keep your tradition if that's what you want to do. There's nothing wrong with that. Do it. But don't judge somebody and say, "Oh, this makes you a Jew and this makes you not," and so forth. And I'm calling all people, come, follow me, Iron Rod Ministries. We'll teach you the way of the Lord. Grow with me. Join yourself. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you like. Like the video. Share with all people that you can contact and know. If you want additional questions answered and so forth, research or needed by me, you want my opinion about certain things, let me know in the comments. I would be gladly to do so. I would do it to the best of my ability, and I hope you guys be blessed, be encouraged, and so forth greatly. Subscribe as well. Look forward to seeing you guys soon. Destroyer of Deception, Pastor Kelly, and I'm out.